Today I want to talk to you about how you can improve your English listening skills. So I've got some tips that I'm going to give you. If you do follow all of my English listening tips, then you should be able to start to understand native speakers more easily and more effectively. There's a word that I'm going to be using a lot in this lesson, and it is variety. I want you to use a wide range of resources and listen to a wide range of accents as well. Well, I know a lot of you come to me and say, Lucy, I want to learn British English, and to do that, I'm only going to listen to British speakers. But in my opinion, that's not the right thing to do. You are going to meet people from all over the world with all different accents, and you're going to need to understand them. You don't want to just be able to understand British people. So, if you're not doing it already, I want you to listen to as many accents as possible. I want to talk to you about resources. For my next point, I want you to ask yourself a question. I want you to answer it to yourself honestly. How much time do you actually dedicate to practicing and improving your listening skills? Most of the students that I ask say around 1 to 2 hours, and even then they might be exaggerating a little bit. Now you've recognised that you're probably not practicing enough, I want you to start practicing. Honestly, practice makes perfect. You're not going to suddenly wake up and be perfect at listening. It takes time, it takes dedication, and it's called a skill for a reason. It's something that you have to develop. Principally, the most obvious one is watching TV programs or movies in English. This is great, but I think you can take it a step further. Maybe you're watching programs with English subtitles. That's good, but you don't want to rely on the subtitles. I want you to learn with your ears and not with your eyes. So I want you to watch it first with no subtitles. See how much you can understand. And then I want you to watch it again with subtitles and see what you did pick up and what you didn't pick up, and then note it for next time. Reading is great for building your vocabulary, but it doesn't do much for your listening skills. Remember that if you want to check your understanding, you can always buy the book as well. Listen to a section and then read it. Listen to another and then read it. This is a wonderful way of improving your listening comprehension. One resource that often gets overlooked is YouTubers. Now, like reading or watching TV, listening is something that you can do whilst you do something else. So if you have a long car journey, on the way to work, on public transport, whilst you're doing something else like cooking, something you don't have to concentrate on, How much time do you actually dedicate to practicing your English? So, say you spend half an hour travelling to work each day and half an hour travelling back home each day, and you listen to something in English for the entirety of those journeys. Each week, you will be doing 5 hours of listening practice. My next tip is do not translate. Do not translate. Do not translate. When you're speaking to someone in person, I want you to listen for context. Something I always say to my students is fluency over accuracy. I speak Spanish fluently, but I do not speak it 100% accurately. I have no problems with listening, I have no problems with understanding, and I have no problems with communicating. It's really important to understand that you don't need it to be perfect. You don't need to understand every single word. You need to understand context and general meaning. I want you to research into how natives speak. The way in which we write something is certainly not the way in which we say it. I want to see you be motivated, and I want to see you make a change. I believe in you, and you need to believe in yourselves too. Don't forget to connect with me on all of my social media.
In this video, I have a very special lesson for you that's using the imitation technique. I also have something that's very exciting to share at the end of this lesson. Practicing with the imitation technique can dramatically improve your English communication skills. It's worked for thousands of my students already, and it can work for you too. Because with this technique, you learn to communicate with more than just words. It's not just what you say, but how you say it in English. With the imitation technique, you'll learn how to perform English. It's like an actor in the movies or a pop star singing on stage. Are you ready to give it a try? In this imitation lesson, you'll hear me telling you a story. Listen to the tone and the intonation in my voice while I'm speaking. Here's how it works. You'll hear the same story 3 times. The first time you hear it, you'll just need to listen and read. Listen to the topic, the vocabulary, and my expression. You're learning the script. Then you'll hear the same script again. But this time, there will be a short pause after each clause or sentence. This is so that you can say it aloud, exactly as it was said in the recording. I want you to imitate me, to copy me, the native English speaker. The last step is the most challenging one. Try to shadow me while I'm speaking. Perform each sentence with the same expression and intonation while I'm speaking. If you don't shadow me perfectly, don't worry. It's meant to be a challenge. But this step is really important. It helps you to practice all of these skills in a different way. Keep practicing with this lesson until you look and you sound just like a native English speaker. Before you go, I want to share something super exciting with you. My students have been having so much success with the imitation technique. This is your chance to improve the way that you speak English as fast as possible. Thank you for spending the time with me today practicing your English. One of the first questions that my students ask me is, how can I improve my speaking skills? And my answer is always the same, and it's simple. Focus on your pronunciation and actually practice speaking. Now, that can be easy to say and less easy to do, right? If you don't live in an English-speaking country, this can be kind of difficult. And even if you do live in an English-speaking country, you might want to start a conversation with a native speaker, but you probably feel too embarrassed or nervous to even start that conversation. Today, I want to introduce you to the imitation technique. Now, I use this technique to coach my English students to improve their pronunciation, but also to improve other important aspects of communicating in English. Imitating a native English speaker can help you to improve your pronunciation skills and communicate clearly in English faster than any other method. When you're communicating in English, it's not only what you say, but it's also how you say it that's important in English. By imitating a native English speaker, you're performing in English. It's like you become a native English speaker. You're learning English in the most natural way possible from the experts.
Learn English phrases, not individual words. This rule is very, very powerful. So simple, so powerful. And you want to learn this new word. You listen to real English, and when you hear a new word, you write it down. Or when you're reading, a storybook and you see a new word, you write it down. Well, phrases give you a lot of information, much more information. Phrases are easier to remember because they have meaning. They have a kind of a picture, a story. When you learn phrases, you are learning grammar also. You're not only learning an individual word, you're learning grammar. You're learning how to use that word correctly. You don't need to think about the grammar. You don't need to know the rules. It's automatic. So you get a lot of great benefits. A lot of great stuff happens when you learn phrases instead of words. Do not study grammar rules. If you're watching this video, you have studied English before in school somewhere. And probably you focused a lot on grammar rules. So my question is, can you speak English easily, quickly, and automatically? If the answer is no, why not? Because you have studied English for many years already. Well, it's not your fault, actually. The reason, the answer for most people is that you studied grammar rules too much. You focused on grammar. When you study grammar rules, when you focus on grammar rules, you focus on analyzing English. In other words, you think about English. How do native speakers learn grammar? Well, I'm an English native speaker, and I can tell you, I never studied grammar rules. So how do we learn grammar rules? Well, we learn through listening, through hearing correct grammar. If you focus on grammar rules, it will hurt your speaking. You'll speak more slowly. You'll understand more slowly. Learn with your ears, not with your eyes. Okay? If you want to speak excellent English, you've got to learn with your ears. Listening, 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 and more listening is the key to speaking excellent English. It's the most important thing. Because if you listen a lot, you're gonna learn vocabulary. You will learn grammar. You will get faster and you will understand better. One reason you probably have some trouble with your speaking. Why? Because again, when you learned English in school, you probably learned mostly with your eyes. Native speakers learned to speak English with their ears by listening, listening, listening. It's important how you listen and what you listen to. The most important thing is you must listen to easy English. It must be easy. What do I mean by easy? Well, you should understand 95% or more without stopping, without a dictionary. Now, if something's more difficult, you can still use it, but you usually need the text. You need to be able to read it. So that's also useful. You can get an audio article or a speech or lessons even. And you have the text so you can read and listen at the same time. That's okay also. Listen to English all the time. Listen in the morning when you get up. Listen when you go to work or when you're at home. Listen when you're at lunch. Listen when you're coming home from work. Learn deeply. Deep learning. Deep learning basically means repeating what you learn again and again and again, many, many times. You learn a lot of stuff, but then you forget it. You forget what you learned. So you need to slow down and repeat everything you learn again and again and again. For you listen to the same ones on Monday, Tuesday, same lessons. Wednesday, same lessons. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. For 1 week, 2 weeks. If it's still difficult, then you do it again, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's not a race. You want to learn everything very deeply so that you really learn it, so that you never forget it, so you can really use it. That's deep learning. So if you have an audio article or a podcast, something you're listening to and you like it, don't just listen one time. 1 time is not enough. 5 times is not enough. For the past tense, I don't know, tens of thousands of times, millions of times. I've heard the basic, most common vocabulary in English every day, thousands, tens of thousands, millions of times. Rule number 6 is to use real English materials. Only use real English materials. If you want to read English, and reading is great, you should read easy English storybooks, easy English novels. I'll tell you exactly how to do that and give you some suggestions for good books to read. But you should listen to easy English that you enjoy. about topics that you enjoy. You should enjoy the speaker, you should enjoy their voice, you should enjoy their energy, you should enjoy the topics. So, you don't want to listen to textbook CDs. Those are terrible. Now you can get on the internet, you can find a lot of real English listening material. So you're always choosing these real things: audiobooks, podcasts, movies, TV shows. They can be children's TV shows. That's okay. This is so important because when you listen to real English materials, you get real spoken English. Textbooks don't teach you real English, they teach you formal English. Now we have the internet, it's so easy to find these real materials. Just do a Google search. Number 7, the last rule is to use, listen, and answer mini stories. This is listen and repeat. It's an old way to learn English. But it's not powerful. When you listen and repeat, you don't need to think in English. You don't need to think. You just repeat what the teacher said. Much more powerful is listen and answer. Especially listen and answer mini stories. When you use these listen and answer stories, you teach yourself to understand quickly and to respond quickly, to speak very quickly and automatically. In my real mini story lessons, it's more difficult and much more interesting, and there are a lot more questions. Use point of view stories. Use point of view stories. And the great thing is, all you have to do as the student, as the learner, all you need to do is just listen to each version of the story every day. That's all. Your job is just to listen, understand, and enjoy the stories. I love Vietnam, and I love the Vietnamese people. I love the energy. I love the motivation. I love the intelligence. I love the discipline of the Vietnamese people, of Vietnamese English learners. And I want to do more events, more seminars, more workshops, more speeches, more trainings in Vietnam. I want to write more books for Vietnamese students. I want to create more lessons and more courses, especially for Vietnamese students. And I want to help the people of Vietnam speak English like a native speaker. So you can bring the voice of Vietnam to the whole world.
The Vietnamese people have something special. You have something to offer the world. To communicate it, to connect with the world, you need to speak English well. And I am excited to help you do that.
We talk it through. We hear you out. We write the words. We read out loud. It's finding the way, exploring new places, discovering new people, and making the difference. It's stories to hear, tales to tell, opening doors and opening minds. Don't just write, communicate. Don't just talk, discuss, debate. Announce yourself. Announce yourself. Make a noise. Speak your mind. And prove your skills to the world. So spread your wings. Expand your horizons. It's a big world out there, and this is your journey. With us, you'll be inspired, you'll be supported, you'll be your best. This is more than learning English. These are your hopes and dreams. We are Cambridge Assessment English, and we're here for every learner, every step of the way. From small steps to big ideas, language is at the heart of who we are.
Be passionate about English learning. Practice speaking English whenever you get a chance. Practice speaking English whenever you get a chance. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Get a reliable English learning course. Listen to English music. Try some public speaking. Record your speaking. Engage in English activities. Don't rush your speech. Speak slowly and correctly. Always try to speak clearly. Practice speaking English with a native speaker. Try your best to improve your pronunciation. Learn from your mistakes. Learn new words every day. Surround yourself with English. Read in English. Read your favorite English books aloud. Try thinking in English. Practice speaking English in front of a mirror.
Retell a story or a joke in English. Debate in English. Don't be afraid to invest in your English skills.